In today's video, I will be reviewing the iPhone 12 Pro specs, but to keep this on the DL and to keep my lip from bleeding anymore, I'm going to try and talk as non-harsh as possible and not smile as much as possible because obviously I can't stretch my lip. It's been less than 48 hours since the surgeries. I'm just going to review everything, and also I'm going to compare it to my old phone, which was the iPhone X, which is basically somewhere in the middle of where everyone may be having their latest phone so far before the 12. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So the whole iPhone 12 series, they all have a new crack resistant front glass as well as a new crack resistant or crack proof back face. Now what this means is that basically it's more reinforced. It's the most reinforced iPhone that Apple has ever created, which is good because a lot of people obviously drop their phones, including myself. As you guys saw on my last phone, it was pretty cracked. I dropped it a lot. This one, I'm hoping to not drop it for at least a year and a half until the new one comes out and then blah blah blah. So now the iPhone X Pro has a 6.1 inch Super Retina XDR display. What this means is that basically it's involving new OLED technology, which is organic light emitting diode technology. It's supposed to be better for your eyes pretty much. Now before I get too far in reviewing the iPhone 12 Pro, obviously the iPhone 12 Pro to the iPhone X, it's going to be a whole lot better. So for me to just compare both of them for every single piece of technology that is involved with each phone, it'd be pointless. So in terms of wireless connection, this is something huge. This is something that's brand new to all iPhones. It's the 5G connection, which I haven't even tried myself yet. I've only been on Wi-Fi and I can just tell you this, it's insanely fast. The connection is sturdy, it's stable, and it's reliable. So for the 5G, I would have to test it from another location. Obviously I'll do that, but for this video, obviously I haven't been able to. I'm fairly sure though 5G is extremely fast compared to the 4G LTE. In terms of downloading and uploading speed, I'm pretty sure that's still based on your provider and the company that is servicing your phones in terms of wireless connection. So it's not going to be what your phone can do, or maybe it can. I don't know that specific point of the tech in terms of the wireless connection. Everything else I do. So next thing is in terms of the camera. This thing is incredibly important to me, obviously, because I record videos, and to be honest, this is where it's going to get a little complex, and I want you guys to hear me out on why I think this camera in terms of this phone may beat out most of the cameras that are on the market today. So you obviously can see three cameras here, and then you see a little sensor, a black sensor that's in the corner here. This phone here has an ultra wide, it has a wide, it has a telephoto, and it has a Dolby Vision HDR video recording that can hold 60 FPS. So pretty much it's gonna give your videos a really nice stabilization when recording. And a lot of the cameras before this within the iPhones never did this because it's a new technology that they just implemented, and that's a good way to record videos. And this is why I think that this phone may actually beat out most of the cameras on the market today. Now please stay tuned for the rest of the video because I will be doing a review between the camera quality from the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone X. So here's the actual photo setting for the iPhone 12 Pro. Here we have the 0.5x zoom in, which is the ultra wide setting. Then we have the 1, which is the wide setting. Then we have the 2, which is the telephoto setting. And what I like about all these different zooms is that it doesn't disturb the image whatsoever and doesn't pixelate the image whatsoever. So you get a nice clean image no matter what zoom level you're at. Obviously, the cameras are the biggest selling point in terms of selling the Apple iPhones. Every year they come out with a new one, which they advertise more than anything else on the phone, just because everyone wants to take those nice pro photos. So another thing about the iPhone 12 Pro camera, before I show you guys the actual video setting of the phone and show you the examples that I filmed beforehand, the iPhone 12 Pro, when you're in the photo setting and the video setting, the autofocus is insanely fast and insanely good. So you're not going to be sitting there waiting to capture the right moment and then end up missing the right moment. You're gonna have that instant depth of field focus on the right time. Perfect for any kind of photographer and or videographer. So now it's time to show you guys the quality in the video. Everything is shot at 4K 60 FPS. And that's the only thing I shoot in for phones because personally I think 1080 is kind of stupid, especially the fact that most of the cameras nowadays just shoot in 1080. So I think 4K is that little bit of an upgrade. It's that little bit of push. Especially if you're gonna get an iPhone 12, you're most likely gonna be getting 128 gigabytes storage. So you got plenty of room to hold 4K 60 FPS. Since this video is being exported in 1080p, I will not be able to correctly show you what 4K 60 FPS looks like. So the last thing within this camera system is a Lidar Scanner. What this means is that you can pretty much take nice low light selfies, portraits, and even help with the AR experiences within the new apps that are coming out on the App Store. It's just gonna give you that nice selfie at night without having to edit them later. It's really nice for the people who want to take the pro photographs at night. Okay, now for the most important part of the iPhone 12 series. It's gonna come with the A14 Bionic Chip. This is the world's fastest phone chip Apple's ever produced. This thing has been upgraded from 8 cores to now 16 cores. It's gonna be delivering an impressive 11 trillion operations per second. That's insanely fast. So to dumb it down a little bit, it just means it's gonna run extremely fast. Most likely your brain's not gonna be able to keep up, because for the 2 days that I've had this iPhone 12 Pro, it feels like I am being definitely outcompeted by an AI device. The battery, the thing people always wonder, am I gonna get a faster charge? Am I going to get a longer charge and a longer endurance and stamina with the new iPhone 12 battery? Your answer to all those questions is yes. This iPhone 12 battery is able to give you 17 hours of video playback. Now I don't know who's gonna be watching 17 hours of videos, but I can just tell you this, it's a long battery, it's very, very useful, and it's never gonna quit on you unless you're me that just uses your phone 24 or even more hours per day. I don't really go to bed till like 3 a.m. so there you go. Now, obviously, the iPhone 12s have the full infinity display, so it's still gonna have the Face ID just like any other iPhone from the iPhone X. This is where a lot of you are probably going to be hoping that the iPhone's durability is a lot better. Well, it supposedly is. On the front face where the actual screen is located, where you actually have the touch screen enabled, you're gonna have a ceramic shield front, so it's gonna be a little bit stronger reinforced glass. Apparently, it's also 4 times more durable in drop performance, but obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, I am not gonna drop test it because I don't have enough money to buy myself another iPhone 12 Pro, and quite frankly, I don't want to wait either because this thing is amazing. Now, on the back of it and around it, it's got surgical grade stainless steel. So when you notice when you get your iPhone 12, whether it be a mini, whether it be a regular or Pro Max, you're gonna notice a fairly decent weighted phone, and that's just because the new upgraded durability on the outside of the phone, they don't want you to end up with a cracked phone anymore. That's why on the back there's no glass. It's just stainless steel now, and I think it looks great. Now, water resistant and waterproofing systems. A lot of you are probably gonna wonder, is this phone finally waterproof? Personally, I wouldn't test it out because it's technology. I know it's Apple, I know it's supposedly reliable, but don't go off of that. It's an expensive phone, just like any other iPhone has been. This iPhone 12 Pro, supposedly, and any iPhone 12 series, is supposedly water resistant to a depth of 6 meters for 30 minutes. Do I really think that's possible? No. Now, in terms of charging, starting from the iPhone X, it came with a magnetic wireless charging, so meaning you could pretty much take a wireless charging pad here, your phone, it could have a case on and whatnot, put it on here just like this, and it would charge. Apparently, it would work, and I actually tried it on the iPhone X and it did work. However, the new iPhone 12s come with a MagSafe technology, which means that there's a huge ring in the back here that allows your phone to charge 4 times faster with the MagSafe technology. I have not tried it yet, but I don't think it would charge faster. And the only reason why I say that is because it's wireless. The only thing I don't like about this is that I like to have my phone in my hands when I'm using it, not have a huge disc on the back. Problem is, you take it off even a little millimeter, it's going to stop charging. Versus plugging your phone in, you could use it and still play with it. It depends on what kind of person you are. I personally don't like the wireless charging. I could care less for it. That's just me. So now in terms of capacity, these iPhones come in 128 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes, and 512 gigabytes. So you're looking at a very, very large data capacity within the iPhone. And that's just the flash storage that's in here. That doesn't even include the iCloud storage. So on the front here, they no longer use the 3D touch. They use the Haptic Touch, which means that basically for long pressed users, instead of having to rely on the amount of pressure used in order to do something on the iPhone, it's now however long you're pressing. So in my opinion, it's actually a lot better because I don't like putting a lot of pressure on a touch screen. It just makes me feel like I'm gonna break the phone. Also, after about 48 hours of using my iPhone 12 Pro, the Haptic Touch does seem a little bit more responsive than the regular 3D touch. So in terms of the display, it's still gonna come with the True Tone display as well as the wide color display, or P3. Now, in terms of the iPhone 12 series compared to the iPhone X, it's gonna have a 2,000,000:1 color contrast display ratio. So it's gonna give you a little bit more of a true picture of what your eyes are seeing, if not better than what the other iPhones have offered. So to finish off with the display specs, the iPhone 12 series is going to give you 800 nits max brightness for a typical display use. For any HDR, it's going to give you 1200 nits max for HDR experience. So it's going to give you the ability to pretty much see the really nice tiny specs in any display that you're featuring on your iPhone 12. Now guys, there are so many tiny little specs within the iPhone 12 series. So if you want, I'm going to leave a link in the description for the apple.com, and it's going to give you the link especially to the iPhone 12, and it's going to compare you to the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone X. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. Personally, after, like I said, 48 hours, I personally think this is by far the best iPhone they've ever created. Now, the difference between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max is just that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is maxing out the camera's ability, which it's, in terms of a photographer standpoint, it's really not much at all. It's going to give you pretty much the same as what an iPhone 12 Pro would give you. So, in my personal opinion, I think the iPhone 12 Pro Max isn't even necessary. I think the iPhone 12 Pro is the right call for any person that is really wanting to get into photography, but still wants to just use an iPhone rather than buying a whole separate camera to shoot with. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.